Hey all, to see how to transform data from a map into widgets, first I've made a quiz app here, a very simple quiz app. If you come through, you see we have our main and then we have a primary widget, a mother widget, container widget. There's a stateless widget and then we have set up the home to be a home page, which we have in turn made a stateful widget, where we have our list of string variable and a counter that is keeping track of which value to show, which you can see here. So now the counter is 0, hence we have the first one. If we change the counter, it will change to the second one. Here in the body, we have a text that is showing the variable respecting the index. Now, our task is to make a map. A map is a key value pair holder where you have keys and you can have values. So for example, if I make a dummy map here, let's say map, my map equals to, a map starts with the second bracket. Inside, we have a key, which is an ID. Let's say we have an ID, or we can also say it to be a key, and then we can have a value. This is just for example. We can have several form of key and value here, for examples. Also, one thing to note, we cannot have two identical keys in one map. We must change it to something else. Let's say ID. So this is an example of a singular map. You start a map with the second bracket, and inside you have key, colon, value. So let's remove this. And now it's time that we turn all of this into key value pairs. So first I'll make one manually. So we make a second bracket, let's give a comma. And then I want the key to be called question. And the question is this. Also, I want another key value pair, so each map should have a question and an answer. So the question key will have the question value, and the answer key will have the answer value. So let's make answers, which I want it to be a list of several answers. So what is your favorite color? Let's say black, white, green, and red. Let's change it to a var for now. Alright, so we have a map here. Now I can copy this entire map and paste it 2 more times so that I can just replace this question from here to here and this one from here to here. Alright, we're done. So one more time, just to remember, a map starts with the second bracket and then you have a key that has a colon and then its value. Key, colon, the value. Now let's change the answers. Let's make it a steak, burger, sandwich, let's name it pizza. What's your favorite animal? Let's name it lion, snake, shark, eagle. Alright, now our task is to transform this into the UI. One thing to remember, maps cannot be shown into the UI directly. We just can't do that. For that, we have to make some changes. Within the text widget, if I pass a new bracket where I want to pass an address to this thing, because the first text is responsible for showing the question. So we have to pass the address to this thing, this question here. We can write it by saying my questions at question index at question. Exactly this. Think of it this way. Dot to string, of course, because this is an address and text only accepts string, so we have to turn this whole address into a string. hence toString. Think of it this way. Each map here is a building. The whole my question is the name of your building, and then this is ground floor, this is first floor, and this is second floor. Now, this variable question index is keeping track of the floor number. Which floor number do you want to go? And then these identifiers here are keeping track of which apartment do you want. Do you want the question apartment or do you want the answers apartment? So you have your building, my question, you have the floor number, question index, and then you have an apartment to choose, either question or answers. Now we are done with this text. What we want to do now is to have dynamically shown the answers from here. So let's say here we have only 2 answers. Here we have 3 answers, and here we have 4 answers. We want to generate answers dynamically. For that, let's go outside the text. Let's make a new bracket. I'll make some more space here, just for the sake of visibility. Let's make a new bracket, and then we have to pass the address to this apartment here, right? So our building name is my question. We want to go to question index floor, and then we want the answers apartment, answers. Now, please tell me, what is the format of this answers value? This answer here is a key, and this here is the value, right? What is the format? It's a list of strings. So this address here is a type of list string. So as list of string. Now, whenever you want to perform an operation on a map, you have to call .map. And maps cannot be shown on the UI, like I said before, so you have to transfer it into a list. So .toList. Now, the funny thing is, we are already inside a list of column, right? Column is taking a children, and this thing here, the third bracket, array, are known as list. So now we have a list inside a list. So now we have a list of nested list, which we do not want. So we can come here and write 1, 2, 3. What this will do, this operator here, this 3 dot spread operator, it will cancel this list and take all the elements and put it individually within the columns list. Now, let's repeat myself again. First, we pass the address here, so the address to our answers. Then we want to perform maps operation because this is a map. And because maps cannot be shown on the screen, we are passing toList. And then we pass the spread operator because we are already inside a list. Now, the important thing. Inside maps, we pass a function, so a first bracket, and outside it, a second bracket. In the first bracket, we tell the map method what do we have at this address, right? So we are actually using this map method for this address here. All of these are just singular answer. So let's say an answer. This is just one single answer, right? Each map has one single answer, list of answer. So this is an answer. Now we want to return an elevated button that has an on crest of nothing, and the child is a text. So I want dynamically generated buttons that is based on this answer, right? So we pass the answer here. Now if we save it, here we have 4 answer. So each answer is going to this text button, elevated button, and then we have 4 dynamically new answer. If we go to the second question, let's change it to 1 and then restart it. What's your favorite meal? We have 3 answers here. We have 3 answers here. Let's change it to 2 and hot restart it. we have two answers here, hence two answers here. Now one thing to remember, inside a list you start counting from 0. The first value is 0, the second value is 1, and the third value is 2. So if I change the question index to 0 and hot restart it, you will see it's fetching the first question. What's your favorite color? With that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.